What do we have for us today? I know I stopped you in the midst of conversation earlier. It was just going somewhere. I'm like,
Girl,
oh,
I mean, it was on,
is
and
we
then you told me,
recording?
you said pump the brakes. I was like, oh man.
In the midst of you expressing.
I was like, wow, okay. Let me see if I can get back over there again. But I'm pretty sure I can. Just ask me what you want to ask me, or, because I don't even really remember what we was actually talking about. I know, when I got started, but
Well, distractions from self.
yeah, that
That's
that
what we
that
want
it
to
was that was a distraction.
have
Distractions. Okay.
this
Mhm.
episode. Um, what is it? How are we so easily distracted? Is it good to be distracted? How can you be distracted from self? And when you're not being self, what are you?
Hmm. Well, that is a good question. And I mean, so many things came to mind when you said that. How can you be distracted? Well, hmm. First of all, I believe it starts with, first of all, how can you be misinformed?
Mm.
Um, because we can become focused. We can become focused on our goals, our objectives that we put out there. If we want to school, we want to if we're going to school, we want to get out and we want to graduate, we want to get our diplomas, our whatever that big piece of paper is entailed. But then it's like the distraction from self. Now that's a totally different one because you can become focused in school, and it's not totally easy to become unfocused. Some people do go off to college, and if they don't have the right setting and whatever, they get off into the wrong, I won't say the wrong, but they get off into other things that are not really necessarily pertaining or are in alignment with what they actually went to school for. But you asking that question about how we can get distracted, it just brought some stuff up. I mean, wow. Trying to find a way to bring this and say this, but we are intentionally distracted in the first place. We've been intentionally distracted. Our minds have been manipulated and bombarded with indoctrinated with a system that's outside of the original system. Our culture been taken from us, and replaced with a facility. I'm trying to say that word anyway of something. And so that's been a big distraction. So we've been distraction on so many levels and so many ways. It's just, but the thing I mean, I don't want to make this seem like it's like, oh, we're lost and we can't find our way back. The main thing is the awareness that you made a wrong turn. You don't just keep on going down the road of distraction and let yourself getting further and further and further away from who you truly are, and what it is that your goal is. you know you you have the awareness that things are off,
Mm.
things are not coming in the right kind of way that
Mm.
I would really love to experience them.
Mm. Mm.
So I mean that goes on, oh wow, so many levels, because sometimes we get anything, well, nothing comes easy.
Right, I hear
But
that. It's like you want anything, you gotta work hard for it in life.
well, that's no, that's really, oh wow, that's part of the programming too.
Mm.
Because the thing is that when you look at the animals out here, if you're lucky enough to be able to live in that, out in the country or out in the I won't say suburb, well, in some places, because I remember we was over there in North County in St. Louis. And over there in North County, and I mean, my goodness, for it to be a suburb area, I never seen so many freaking deers wandering around like with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But I said that to say this, that these animals have not totally had their culture, quote unquote, stripped away from them. They're still behaving and doing things in their normal way of doing it. A lot of them are not in their normal habitat because man has come over with his um, homes and houses and buildings and just random you know taking over their habitat, so they had to adjust. But for the most part, they're still operating, you know, the way they would normally operate. The deers are not taking the bus or anything, going to work or anything like that. They're still doing what they would normally do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the main thing is that when you are, it takes effort. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to say you have to work hard, but it does take effort. You know, and that effort shouldn't leave you, it shouldn't leave you fully exhausted without seeing anything that you actually reaped, that you actually gotten back from it.
Mm-hmm.
you know and it's a balance too. It's a balance. You can't say like, well, yeah, I got this back. you know I got the degree. I did get the degree. But what did it cost you? Other than monetary, what did it cost you? Did you lose friends? Did you lose friendships? You know, relationships. Because the relationship is the most important thing about our being. So but what did it cost you? You know, so those are kind of the things I'm speaking on when I was like, yeah, it takes effort. And the thing is that they tell you it works hard, but you when you're working hard, you really shouldn't have to work hard because you're not really in competition with anybody else. You're in competition with being the best that you were yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So the competition is with yourself. So, you work hard to outdo yourself if that's what you so choose, but not to outdo the other because we're actually all individual streams of focus from the same source.
Mm-hmm.
We're different. There are different expressions of the same source, the same conscious being. When you go outside, there's no borderlines. There's no borderlines. See, this is white air. This is black air. This is Hispanic air. You know, it's Asian air.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the same air.
Right.
It may be depending on where you're living at. It might be, if you're in an area where there's a lot of combustion from cars and planes and trains like that, might have some effect on it then. But it's the same being. There's no different air, as in, like I said, a significant difference air. Like, oh, this is white folks' air. This is black folks' air. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or you understand? Okay, so it's like we're different focal points. We're different focuses of the same thing. Different expressions. That's what I'm trying to say. Different expressions of the one being. You are me. I am you. We're just different expressions of the one being. And so I know for a lot, because when I first heard it was like different expressions from the one being, but the one being is source. You know, now unless I mean, there are some people may think that there's, I don't know what people may think. I'm not really concentrating on that. If there's people who think there's several different gods, 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 but far as I know, if there's just one God, So we're all expressions of that one God, of that one conscious being of consciousness.
So if that, can you really ever be from yourself then if everything is a reflection of you?
You can you be of yourself?
Away from yourself, or no, we were saying distraction from yourself.
Well, the thing is that you can't truly be a distraction from. You can't be distracted from your gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all don't have the same gifts and talents. Everybody has gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Gifts, the gifts are unique, like your fingerprints.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have. I can't expect I can't expect you to do what I do, and you can't expect me to do what you do. I can do something similar, but it won't be what you do, and vice versa. So in that way, if you're not living up to your expressing, express yourself, accept yourself, express yourself. You're not living up to accepting yourself fully and expressing your gifts and talents. Well, yeah, you can. But actually, the statistics are still there that 85% of the population this population, this world, especially in the Americas, 85% of the population, they're doing things that they really don't like their job. They're working jobs that they they got to have they have to bring in they have to buy food, you know shelter, you want to have you know transportation, but they ooh, excuse me, that's where the system has hijacked our focus. And because most of us are not fully accepting ourselves, if you don't fully accept yourself, you can't fully express yourself. But then this full of expression of yourself brings provision. It'll allow you to be who you are, to do what it is that you're here to do. So yeah, you can't really. So no, I can't get caught up. I can get caught up in trying to be like you. That's where a lot of people, since they're not fully accepting of themselves, they got this false facades that they put up because of the programming that they pick up via, TV and whatever, movies. And so they pick up these false facades because we're given the illusion that that's what it is. That's what it takes for you to be actually become somebody. He says it's worthy. If you wear this, you dress like this, if you drive that, you know, if you're seen going here, So we pick up them false facades, but in order to pick up them false facades, we have to take on jobs, that really don't allow us to fully express who we really and truly are. If we had the opportunity to fully express who we really and truly are, then, you know, it says where there's vision, there's provision, So, when you're fully aware of who you are, then the vision comes to you of what it is that you're here to do.
How would you say, as far as how do you know when you are expressing, you know, who you are, or when you, or just even when you're aware of who you are? 'Cause I mean, me myself, I know I'm a different person than 3 years ago, especially 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So it's just, kind of like I'm still learning myself, I feel like. So how do you know when you actually become aware of yourself, who you are?
Well, I mean, you never get too old to learn. You're gonna always be learning.
Mm-hmm.
Until your last breath, you're gonna always be learning. But to help you to help you understand is like how balanced are you feeling?
Mm, mhm,
You know, are most of your days feeling like really good days? You know, are some of your days feeling like questionable? Why am I here? What am I doing? You know, why am I with this person? Why is this person this, or why am I doing that? You know, are even better yet, you know, your circumstances, you know, how long, because, you know, I mean, good things, good times, you know, this everything, the ebb and flows of life, you know, you're going to have good times, you're going to have bad times. But I would say, in full acceptance and expressing yourself, that those bad times are limited to little or none at all.
mhm,
That's how you know. Now, when you get to the point where you get into hardship situations, because there's hardship, period, you know, but how long does it take you to bounce back, to bring the things back into balance? You know, how many times, how often do you end up in hardship? So when you look and see that, it's like, if you know, if you're in, you know, things are going rough and they've been going rough for a long time, well, chances are, yes, you are on the wrong channel. Or if you like, you know, you find yourself and you're doing well, but then every every week or every month or every year, something, you know, happens to boom, knock you back out, and it knocks you out hard, then yeah, you got to realign.
mhm, mhm.
You know, because I mean, it's like, gonna talk the talk. You got to walk the walk. And so that's one thing I learned about for myself. You know.
Mhm.
You know, cause shit. Excuse me. But anyway,
But
yeah,
that's it.
I'm. I was. But that was when I was doing hair.
Mhm,
I had a talent to do hair to make people look good, but that's not my passion.
mhm, mhm.
Now, there's nothing wrong with taking your talent and putting it to use to help you obtain what it is that you're really passionate about.
Right.
But don't let your talent take you and get you distracted to where you keep doing what you're doing, because it's not about your passion. It's more about, it's financial. It's about, got to pay the bills, you got a family to feed. And that's where a lot of people are at. Got to pay
That's
the bills, got a family to feed,
right.
got obligations.
Obligations, right? And that's one of the things that I practice with my self-love coach program is to actually, okay, beyond the so-called obligations, the number one priority should be yourself because without
Right,
you, nothing else could exist
right.
that you hold as obligation, you know.
Hmm. Right.
If you're not taking time out for a little TLC, a little self-love for yourself, then you just pretty much running yourself down into the ground trying to keep up with the
Exactly.
obligations, you know.
Exactly. Hmm.
So
Exactly.
I thought that's a good point.
And give yourself a little TLC, and like, like I said, taking, we have to make a way to have a means to become self-sufficient. And
Hmm.
sometimes you have talents that you can use, but that talent may not be really a part of your passion. But if you recognize what your passion is,
Hmm.
then you can take that talent, like you said, and take some time for self love. Self love doesn't necessarily mean just, pampering yourself. Self love, okay, I got this passion where I want to do this, but I'm gonna have to acquire a certain system of learning, you
Right.
know,
Hmm.
for that. So, you know, I may be doing hair, I may be doing nails, I may be a cook, but what I really want to do, I really want to be a archaeologist or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that money, you take a little bit of that money and put it into invest in yourself. That's self-love, investing in yourself, you know. invest in yourself so that you can grow yourself into what it is, because we may stop growing. We may not have to buy bigger shoes or bigger clothes or whatever, but we have to grow our awareness.
Right. Especially, I mean, with this technology world, like, man, all this information is, just surrounding us. It just seems like there's more information day by day that's, coming about or um, being brought into focus. What
But
would,
yeah, but this which we there's a debate, but we are moving into the age of Aquarius, and the age of Aquarius is the information age. So we are at that point. Some people have said it started back in 2012. Some people are, oh, I don't start to 2035. But, you know, who's to say exactly, because I don't think we're going to actually pull up to a street sign. It's like, oh, you're at the Aquarian age. But the fact is, it's what you start recognizing around you. And we are being bombarded with lot more information, you know a lot of people becoming more aware of things outside of the um, traditional curriculum that we've been fed.
now, because of that, because there's so much information, I mean, anybody nowadays can just share information, to a social media platform, YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have all these different social media platforms. What would be a way that you would say as far as how we can digest the information? 'Cause I mean, a lot of people get hung up on different information. How can you take what you get and pretty much stay in alignment with who you are and what's like, I guess, sorting the facts from the fiction.
Well, yeah, that part is well, we can't become lazy in receiving of the information, so we have to use the power of discernment.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear things sound good, but pay attention who it is that's giving you this information, and
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily their credentials or who they say they are, but more so of the credentials of where they're saying they're getting this information, so that if necessary and you want to go back and research it yourself, you can go and research it yourself. You're not because that's the one thing that got us into the predicament where we're at, where people are not happy. So many 80, like I said, 85% of the people not working the jobs that are doing the things they would really want to do with their life, but because we have been spoon fed, you know, what it is, uh, um, the higher authorities would want us to know. So it's more so about being able to research, cross-reference what's being told to you. If it's in question, if it's not vibing with you, if you trying it but it's not really working out, then well, yeah, you need to go back and cross-reference, and if you can't get in touch with the person, let them know, hey, where are you getting this information from? I want to do some follow-up, because there's a lot of things, and there's a lot of people have so many, you got so many different perspectives, and that's understood because there's so many different fingerprints. As many fingerprints there are perspectives, and vice versa.
I believe you. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
it's not really about the nature of the title of the person, but
Mhm.
it's like, well, I
Like
want to go a
social
little bit
proof
further.
of
I want to go a little bit further. What you're talking about? Where can I go and retrieve this information that you're speaking of?
Mhm.
You know, and I mean, early on, I would say Google was your best friend,
Yeah.
but now you can't totally rely on Google,
Mhm. Mhm.
because Google is part of a system that's trim yeah
Mhm.
trimlining the information, how they're actually putting it out there now.
Mhm.
So your best bet, is to go to a library,
Mhm. Mhm.
pick up one of those encyclopedias, or just catalog, go through the catalog and find a couple of books on the information, so then that you can get a hold and you can, investigate for yourself.
Mm, awesome.
Yeah. So I mean,
Now
that's
we
one
know
thing.
that.
When I listen to people, I don't listen to people just because they got a about I got a PhD or I'm a whatever title they have. I'm listening because I'm like, well, I hear you, but you know, do you give me information where I can go back and verify that I
Right.
can go and cross reference and research for myself? Because then I'm a lot more apt to listen to that person
Mm-hmm.
and take heed what they're actually saying.
Mm-hmm. Right. This just give me because just recently I came across some information where it's quoted that we use about 90 to 95% on the way we communicate is subconsciously, where
Mhm.
the other 5 to 10% is consciously.
Mhm.
So with that information, how would you say going about, being mindful of that? Because a lot of things, for me, it's like, okay, a lot of things go without being said, basically.
Mm.
Pretty much we're living within our minds more than what we actually are directly speaking. Is that a good thing or something that needs to be checked?
Well, like I said,
Is
you're
it
right.
just natural?
95% of our experiences, our lives are based on what we've been conditioned to.
Mm,
Conditioning starts early on from the moment you're born. The household, the neighborhood, the school district, all that. That goes into that 95%. That's the conditioning. But like I said, you have to weigh it against what experiences are you having.
mm,
What are you really getting out of? Are you do you find yourself in a place?
mm,
You know, am I in a place where I find myself comfortable? Am I happy with my life? Am I happy with the experiences that I'm having? Am I happy about the people I'm associating with? You know, and so if you find yourself like I have, going through the process, find myself, I'm not happy with a few things, and so I'm like, okay, well, there's something I need to readjust. You know, well, how do I feel about money? How do I feel about relationships? And understand that because whatever the negative that's coming up, that's what needs to be addressed. Do you think you have to really work hard for money? No, money don't grow on trees, but it's made from trees, so there's plenty of trees around.
right. Mm,
So am I living in the place I really want to live at? Hmm.
mm,
You know, why do I feel like I have to accept little? What makes you feel like a lot of people take their opportunities. They come, well, it's better to have a little bit of something than nothing at all. Hmm. That's a you have to reframe things the way we say it and way we see it.
mm,
I'm blessed to have this.
mm,
I'm open to receive all that the universe can bring to me. All the universe has for me.
mm,
So instead of, well, it's better to have a little bit and nothing at all. Well, let's just change that. It's like, well, I appreciate what I have and I am open to receive all the universe has in store for me. We have to change our way of thinking and talking to ourselves because that's part of the subconscious. Because on a deeper level, how we're thinking about ourselves, do we feel worthy? Do we feel valuable? Comes from what we've been conditioned to believe about ourselves as we were coming up. You know,
right.
And so, changing the thoughts, changing the things that you tell yourself, big time. That's not easy. Sometimes you have to take a time out and just, like you said, self love. And self love should be investing the time in yourself as far as furthering your education. As far as correcting whatever it is that's going on in your mental state. So there's a few different things as far as self love is concerned. Mhm.
So as we come to a close, can you leave us with a quote that
Hmm.
you can stand upon?
Well, the very thing I'm working with right now, the very thing I'm working with right now, I'm on the recording. The very thing I'm working with right now is feed your dreams and starve your fears.
Nice.
You know, you have to create a vision, a better vision for yourself beyond what it is that you're experiencing right now.
Mhm.
I have to create it. Everybody who's not really happy, with their life and the things that is going on. Okay, you got to what will make you happy, and don't let yourself um don't make yourself accept less than what you really want. I can't say what you really feel because a lot of us don't want a whole, I don't want to say a whole lot. We don't go for the things that will really make us happy because we don't really feel as though we can truly afford that.
Right. Mm.
But you have to make an adjustment. There's no limitations to what God can give you, as long as the only limitation is on upon your acceptance of believing that you deserve it. That's the only limitation. There are no limitations. So that's why feed your dream and starve your fears. Create a better dream for yourself. And if it may sound outlandish or whatever, who cares? If it feels good for you, it feels good to you. You ain't trying to live for nobody else but yourself. Because ain't nobody else breathing for you but you.
Exactly. I thank
Yep.
you
So
for
that's it.
that. Mhm. Well, I thank you for sharing a bit of the Our Journey into You Ganja Brew session. You mind sharing us with how you came up with the name? I think it's a very interesting name. I know a bit of the story, but I know our viewers and our listeners may not know. You mind sharing it before you leave?
Well, of course, our journey.
Mm-hmm.
If you just listen, don't look at the way it's spelled. It's our journey. We're on this journey. This life is a journey. You know, our journey into Uganda Brew. Uganda is a special brew. It's a unique potion, sort of say. So it's our journey into this special potion that we call life, because life is a special potion.
Indeed.
I mean, on all levels, it's a special potion. So our journey into, this Uganda brew and taking it in, and letting it mellow and I don't want to say, yeah, I did say mellow and marinate for some reason, mellow and marinate through your system to bring you into an alignment to enjoy your fullness of self.
Mm.
So yeah.
I thank you, Nana Moni Love, for
Well, thank you.
sharing this platform and
Much love. Thank you.
the wisdom with us. You let us know, where can we hear more from you? Where should we follow you
Well, let me see. I have a Facebook page. This
at?
is
Okay.
Moni Love, Ramona Elaine. Ramona Elaine is the guardian of the guardian protector of light. So Ramona Elaine, Moni Love, Ramona Elaine, Facebook, and then YouTube is RJurni N2, the same way it's spelled
Okay.
on the screen. RJurni N2U.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're still working on getting the site up and ready, so it should be ready shortly,
Okay.
and then I'll be able to post that and share that. you know
Okay.
I'll share that via the Facebook page.
Okay. Cool. I'll make sure I will drop the links in the description of this video. Again, thank you, Nana Money Love, for stopping through.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And we're definitely gonna have to do this again.
Definitely, definitely, because
So
we
much
even get
more
in
to touch
talking about the
on
new
life.
moon and all that stuff like that, girl, because I got so much more to go and everything, so it's just getting started.
Speaking of, go ahead and share a little bit on the new moon.
Well, yeah,
Today,
the
Friday
new moon.
13th, new
Oh yeah, that
moon.
did don't put the.
Okay.
Happy Friday 13th, everybody. Oh, I think this show ain't over yet. That's right. Happy Friday 13th, everybody. Ain't nothing spooky. Ain't nothing spooky about that shit. Just, somebody got fucked up on Friday the 13th back in. So they want to make you think it's a scary thing because they got fucked up on Friday the 13th. But really, it's a powerful day. It's a powerful day. One and three is equals four, which is the number for foundation. So Friday the 13th is a very powerful day. But this weekend is the new moon weekend in Scorpio, and so today is the last day of the waning of the moon, and then tomorrow it's um, it comes back and starts back into waxing. And what those things are, it's like the new moon, it governs our emotional selves and everything. And when it comes to planting seeds, mentally it's better to plant your seed. Well, I won't say mentally, probably, I'm not a farmer, it's got a farmer's almanac, but I'm talking about on a spiritual level. It's best to plant your seeds
Stop.
on the new moon day. So the new moon is the best time, and this one is in Scorpio, which is a very very strong. Well, all of them are strong. Can't say this any stronger than the other one, but it's just the intention of what you're setting, especially if you're looking to create a love or a stronger bond with someone. This would be a good time to set your intentions, on this moon focus of the moon, phase of the moon, and everything like that. So, mhm.
All you lovebirds out there, we'll be dropping some things on the Waiting to Exhale site. We have a new course that's coming up as well. Love yourself. It's okay to be selfish.
Yes, it is. You gotta be.
About that course will be located on the website. I'll make sure I also post that within the description as well.
Our journey into
Journey
you
into
ganja brew.